This is the second part of the Shepherd Boy, so you need to watch the other one first. I went on a bit long, but there were some final points that I didn't make. Now, some people will probably say, oh, look, you don't understand that they have to kill the Shepherd Boy because he could have alerted the Taliban and then they would have been in trouble, like some other patrols have happened. A famous one, known survivors. Now, the difference between that American lone survivor story with the SEALs and what happened the year before was that Shepherd Boy actually wandered into the position. You know, he had discovered them. It's a very different story to someone who's down a slope and the SAS people in the patrol who were actually watching him said he hasn't seen us. That's very different. Secondly, the idea of an observation patrol is not to be discovered. And the idea that this kid was going to report them and therefore they had to act shows that to be totally ridiculous, because in shooting, they didn't stab him. They shot him at about 100 metres, 5 rounds with the high-powered rifles that are made to shoot, up to a K. And they gave the position away by shooting at the kid. And then, funnily enough, the Taliban, who probably the kid's parents, came after them. So it didn't stop their position being discovered, and they had to fight their way off the mountain that night, not surprisingly. It gave away their position. It was all sorts of wrong. Now, you might not have charged the guy, but you would have given him a talking to and explained all the rules of engagement. And there were masses of lawyers in Australia. Most of the lawyers involved in that are probably generals now, and not one of them picked it up and said, this is wrong. And as I said, they didn't just, they gave him a bravery medal and talked it up like it was, Battle of the Bulge. Now, that was wrong. And while, again, my angry veterans get a lot of hate mail or whatever, they might say I'm being a bit hard on Soldier E. Well, am I? He's not facing lifetime imprisonment. And even if he got convicted, I doubt, whereas I am facing 100 years in jail the rest of my life for revealing the truth about things like this. And it's not about Soldier E in particular, although that is bad. A murder's a murder. But it's about the way that the government used that to talk up the war in order to commit troops for another 8 years. The government wanted to go to war in Afghanistan because it was good for votes, because people heard stories about this, brave heroes over there, and they kind of, there's a reflection. If you like what the military are doing, you tend to like the government. And that's why, and there were probably other reasons as well, backhanded reasons, that everyone that does what we call our strategic partners, the Americans, any prime minister in Australia who is in the Americans' pocket seems to prosper, both at the ballot box and in life afterwards. So you can take that as what you will. But the politicians wanted to fight in Afghanistan, and so they talked up stories like this. They talked up everything. Everything was an opportunity. Challenge was an opportunity. Shooting a sort of a Shepherd Boy became an opportunity for a bravery medal, which became an opportunity for a press conference. They even got that soldier to, answer questions because they knew that they could bask in the glory and they could get votes from it. And the same type of people are trying to prosecute me. Their successors in government, this guy called Christian Porter, the family values guy, who has a very, let's say, a wide definition of family values. And nothing wrong with that. He's a great lawyer. I'm sure he can talk his way around it. He's trying to put me in jail. This is a guy with links to the defence industries, with links to sketchy oil companies, with links to people with who did illegal bugging operations, has used our security services to work for an oil corporation. They're trying to put me in jail. Go figure.